Welcome back to Bike Legend Pro, where we dig deeper than press releases, ask the questions the industry avoids, and uncover the uncomfortable truths others won't dare to say. Today, we're not talking about a bike. We're talking about betrayal, corporate sabotage, and the systematic destruction of one of America's most iconic brands, Harley-Davidson. While the world debates whether Harley can survive the changing motorcycle landscape, very few realize that its downfall wasn't just economic or generational. It was orchestrated. On this video, we reveal the 5 people who quietly, deliberately, and in some cases proudly dismantled Harley-Davidson's culture, community, and customer base. Starting with a woman whose marketing campaign didn't just miss the mark, it erased the soul of the company. Heather Meanchek, the cultural assassin. Heather Meanchek was never a writer. She came from General Mills, a company that sells breakfast, cereal, and snack food. Her job before Harley was selling yogurt and granola to suburban moms, and somehow, she was handed the keys to the most iconic motorcycle brand in American history. Her vision was to modernize Harley's branding, but instead of celebrating freedom, rebellion, and the brotherhood of riders, she launched the tone-deaf More Roads to Harley campaign, an attempt to rebrand Harley as a lifestyle prop for fashion influencers. Gone were the dusty highways and rugged riders. In their place were manicured models standing beside bikes like they were posing for a perfume ad. Even worse, she deliberately excluded Harley's real riders, veterans, blue-collar workers, and longtime loyalists. Internal memos revealed she referred to Harley's core audience as an aging demographic with declining purchasing power. To her, they were disposable, replaceable, outdated. She wanted Harleys without Harley riders. The fallout was immediate. Brand loyalty crashed, sales dropped. And the younger crowd she was chasing, they never came. They wanted authenticity, not a commercialized lie. Meanchek didn't just fail. She insulted the very people who made Harley great. Yoan Zites, the globalist who declared war on tradition. Next came Yoan Zites, Harley's CEO from 2020, a man from Germany, better known for reviving Puma and pushing ESG, environmental, social, and governance standards than understanding motorcycles. The Harley board brought him in, thinking he was a turnaround expert. What they actually hired was a corporate ideologue. Zeitz didn't see Harley's gritty, rebellious culture as an asset. He saw it as a problem to be solved. His plan: turn Harley into a purpose-driven luxury brand, shifting focus from freedom and power to sustainability and virtue. He obsessed over electric motorcycles like the Livewire, even as Harley's iconic cruisers, the ones that built the brand, gathered dust in underfunded departments. He wasn't paid to grow Harley's market. He was paid to hit ESG metrics. His bonus structure rewarded him for sustainability checkboxes, not for building great bikes or restoring customer trust. The result: Harley's core market abandoned the brand, while the new audience Zeitz targeted never showed up. Indian Motorcycles, Harley's oldest rival, capitalized on this mistake by doubling down on what riders actually wanted: powerful, traditional bikes that respected history. Under Zeitz, Harley wasn't reborn. It was rebranded into irrelevance. Larry Hund did the boutique butcher before joining Harley. Larry Hund worked at Tiffany & Co. Yes, the jewelry store. He knew diamonds, not engines. But somehow, he became the head of commercial operations at Harley-Davidson. His mission: to elevate the brand and attract affluent customers. So he gutted the dealership network, the same family-run shops that had been selling Harleys for generations. Under Hund, dealerships became sterile boutiques, with espresso machines and polished marble floors instead of oil-stained tools and camaraderie. He slashed dealer incentives, enforced costly remodels, and forced out legacy owners. These weren't just business decisions, these were cultural executions. One heartbreaking story came from a veteran-owned dealership in Ohio. In business since 1952, they couldn't meet Hund's luxury standards. The shop closed. The owner, a Korean War veteran, told reporters, "I don't recognize the company I spent my life supporting." Hund didn't just destroy dealerships, he destroyed the communities that had built Harley's empire. Ryan Morrissey, the electric evangelist. Then came Ryan Morrissey, Harley's self-proclaimed chief electric officer, a position created just for him. With a resume from Tesla and no motorcycle background, Morrissey was Harley's future, or so the board thought. He poured over $400 million into electric motorcycles, but Harley's traditional bikes, they got scraps. While Indian updated their entire cruiser lineup, Harley's most beloved models went unchanged for years. Morrissey wasn't just innovating, he was actively mocking Harley's culture. At a 2022 product launch, he called gas-powered motorcycles outdated technology holding back the industry. He said this in front of Harley dealers and customers. The Livewire, his crown jewel, was overpriced, underpowered, and soulless. It flopped so hard, it sold fewer than 1,000 units in its first year. Meanwhile, Harley's sales plummeted, and loyal riders started looking elsewhere. Morrissey treated Harley like a tech startup, not a motorcycle company. And that misunderstanding cost Harley millions in its legacy. Corin, the corporate executioner, but none of them did the damage that Corin did. Her official title didn't matter. What mattered was her mission, not to evolve Harley, but to replace it. Her background in corporate activism and day consulting should have set off alarms. But she was welcomed into Harley leadership with open arms. She didn't want to market Harley differently. She wanted to erase what Harley meant. She introduced sweeping ideological tests for employees, forced out dealerships that resisted her cultural agenda, and referred to loyal customers as suffering from nostalgia by. Her campaigns featured influencers instead of bikers. Her bikes weren't heritage machines, they were gender-inclusive city cruisers, designed in conference rooms by people who had never ridden a day in their lives. 2 legendary Harley models were scrapped under her direction. Not updated, eliminated. What replaced them were motorcycles that looked like appliances and felt like betrayal. The saddest part wasn't the backlash. It was the heartbreak. Generational riders, veterans, mechanics, moms and dads who dreamed of passing down their Harley to their kids, all of them left behind. For the first time in a century, Harley-Davidson no longer felt like Harley-Davidson. Conclusion: can Harley survive this? What happened to Harley wasn't a natural decline. It wasn't market disruption. It was intentional cultural destruction at the hands of executives who didn't understand, and worse, didn't respect the brand. Heather erased the identity. Zeitz redirected the vision. Yoan destroyed the network. Morrissey misread the mission. And Corin, she burned the soul. Now we ask the real question: can Harley-Davidson recover? Or is it too late? Has the damage gone too deep? Has the bond with riders been permanently severed? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're tired of stories and want real, unfiltered truths about the motorcycle world, don't forget to subscribe to Bike Legend Pro. We ride for passion, not for metrics, and we never forget who built the legacy.